The guy who failed every single test in Demon Slayer's Academy is now standing in front of the sync machine. This sync machine measures how well a person's body can connect with a demon core, the energy source humans use for their transplanted armor. The higher your sync rate, the more demon power you can control. The top cadet of the class Situ just scored 39%, the highest in the entire group, and everyone calls her a prodigy, but nobody expects much from Aang. Yet the moment the test starts, the numbers shoot up like crazy. 20%, 40%, then more and more, until finally it reaches 80%. The instructors freak out thinking the machine's broken, but it's not. Our dude's the real deal, because what no one here knows is that this loser used to be humanity's strongest warrior. 60 years ago, he led an army of heroes against the demons that nearly destroyed the world. He fought the Crimson Demon King himself, and died taking his last breath in that final battle, but instead of dying for good, he woke up in a weak body decades in the future. With his consciousness fading away, he suddenly awakens in the body of a warrior. As he looks around, he realizes he is in some kind of boot camp trapped in another body. He feels he might be dreaming. Examining his hands and seeing that it feels too real to be a dream, he touches his face and realizes that it's a different face, not his cool, unbeatable, charismatic yet handsome face, and not his strong metal body. He has a meltdown right on the spot, asking who and where he is. Apparently he's in what appears to be a boot camp in the Helios region. The commander addresses them, making sure they understand what it means to participate in the soldier evaluation. The commander keeps on talking about how they wouldn't be here if it weren't for the soldiers who died in the war, and yells at the cadets asking if they truly know what it means to be a soldier. They all confirm. The protagonist, on the other hand, does not. He murmurs to himself about how the information is not correct, but the commander hears him and approaches. He questions him, asking if he doesn't understand the symbol that soldiers represent. The commander asks for his name, but the protagonist doesn't know what to answer, as he can't declare himself as the legendary hero, Aang. Surprisingly, even in a reincarnated body, his name is still Aang, and this only pisses the commander off even more, as he sees it as a disgrace to the righteous name. He calls him a stupid fool, who has yet to achieve the foundation of a soldier's self-ultivation, then slams his face on the ground. The protagonist is totally disappointed that his body can't even react to a blow of such a low level, and still shares the same name as him. The commander, while walking away, tells him in a threatening tone that he'll be paying extra close attention to him, then goes back to addressing the whole crowd. He tells everyone to move to the evaluation field, as next up is the physical evaluation. One of the soldiers helps Aang up and asks if he's okay. He introduces himself as Lancino, and notes how our boy has a name to feel pride about. Just as he's saying this, a white-haired girl in front interrupts, mocking A for sharing the same name with the legendary hero. One thing for sure, she got a strong hate boner for our boy and his name. Her name is Situlo, by the way, and she walks away calling him childish, which pisses our boy off badly. He complains to Lan that the girl has a cocky attitude. Hearing this, his freshly made friend is honestly surprised he doesn't know her. He identifies her as the most anticipated evaluation soldier of their batch, a young lady with the nickname Cold-Blooded Demon, and the daughter of the most esteemed martial family of the Helios region, the Situ noble family. Aang finds the name Situ very familiar, and tries to recall where he has heard it before. His new friend picks him up from the floor, and some girl takes a picture of them from behind, calling it a truly enchanting bromance. They turn toward her, and she tells them they can ignore her and continue. While the protagonist tries to keep a serious face to ask her who she is, Lan asks if she just took a picture of them, which Agnes isn't the main point right now. She introduces herself as Suju Yu Hoi and says it's nice to meet them. Apparently, she saw the boys' interaction as some weird bromance scene, which for some reason caught her attention. Aang finds it unfortunate that she is not the sharpest tool in the shed. At the fitness test venue, Aang gets fired up, reminding himself that despite having a body that is weak, he is still ultimately the strongest warrior. He intends to stun everybody by obtaining monstrous grades. The test begins with the long-distance endurance round. Aang sets off quickly, aiming to secure the top rank, and sets a new record while he is at it. In the end, he does break a record, but for the longest time taken in a long-distance endurance test, ultimately coming last and getting laughed at by everyone. The second fitness test is the explosive arm strength test, where A also comes last and even sprains his wrist. He does horribly again in the third test, the explosive leg strength test, ending up last once more. Lu mocks him for having the worst results in the Academy's history. Lan tries to cheer him up, while Su is disappointed that this might be the last time she can take pictures of both of them together. Meanwhile, Gyoteng and the officiator discuss his performance. He tells the captain that Aang's results are so poor that he should be eliminated immediately, as there is no need to proceed to the second round of assessments. The captain agrees there might not be much hope for him, but he still has the right to participate in the second round of tests, which might even be his last chance. He orders for the second round to begin immediately. For this test, they gather inside a building and are assessed on their synchronization with their special equipment. For Aang, this is his chance to shine. He remembers keeping an average sync rate over 96% in the past. Even though he is not in the best shape now, he knows it comes down to determination, and he is ready to prove the doubters wrong. Checking out the grafting gear, which looks like it is from 60 years in the future, and is super light, he feels pumped. Lu, who trains with a martial arts family, gets a sync rate of 39%, the highest of anyone there. This makes her the center of attention, and someone even wants to date her because she is so impressive. When she finds out her score in the lounge, she is over the moon even though she tries to keep her cool. Hung is amazed upon seeing this girl doing 39% on her first try. His new friend talks about how Liu seems to have a fiery strength hidden in her, and A can feel it too. Lin then suddenly notes that his friend does not look worried about the test, and our boy confirms that he isn't. After all, he is used to this kind of thing. Then the test continues. For many newbies, it is their first time using the grafting equipment, and it clearly hurts. The demon core hits them hard, putting a lot of strain on their bodies from the start. A few cannot take the pain and quit. To pass, warriors need at least a 10% sync rate. Lan manages 24%, which is a pleasant surprise. Suju gets 30% and passes as well. Zhang mentions that this round shows some really promising new talent. His colleague points out that including Suyu, there are 6 warriors who stand out in their group. Jiang agrees there are good prospects, but also some who clearly are not cut out for this. Then it is our boy's turn, and people start making fun of him, guessing his sync rate will be low because of his earlier poor performance. Ung is sure that they are going to eat their words. He is determined to show them up and hopes they are ready for a huge surprise. Bro's face is enough to tell you about his confidence. Picks the red core because it boosts physical strength, and he knows there are 6 different demon cores from the battlefield. The common ones are red, yellow, green, and blue. He figures that getting a high sync rate is all about having strong willpower. The more willpower you have, the more power you can pull from the core and control it. When asked if he is ready, he says yes. Once they start, everyone in the lounge feels a strong reaction, especially Liu, who is surprised it is coming from Aang. My guy, on the other hand, is determined to show them the power of a top warrior. By now, Lan has started to suspect that our boy is hiding his true strength. Everyone is amazed when his sync rate hits 40%. Ung feels sure he can push it to 96%, so he increases his effort. The warriors watch as his rate climbs to 60%. Yutang cannot believe it and wonders if the equipment is broken. A girl reports that it is still rising now at 80%. Some start to think Aang is cheating or that the gear is faulty, but we all know that our boy just wants to prove he is the best and show them a real difference in power. Then he feels a strange shift and becomes extremely tired. He says he cannot go on. Someone asks if he is joking, and it turns out the equipment has glitched. In the end, his sync rate is only 10%. The assistant explains to Gitang that the core has broken and is probably faulty, which caused the strange readings. But of course the commander is not sure if it is just a mere glitch. Aang still passes with 10%, though others think the core is bad. After all, there is no way in hell that such a weak body could achieve such a high rate. Meanwhile, our boy's friend rushes to check on him, while Lu feels jealous, thinks someone is stealing her spotlight, and is not happy about it. Lan rescues our boy out of the test room, while our poor fella is just feeling grateful that he at least passed with this pathetic score. Suju, meanwhile, is out here busy taking pictures of Lan rescuing his friend. Later, as Ung sits back, he ponders the strange loss of strength, as if something had drained it away in an instant, something he has never felt before. Despite his willpower getting him to 80%, a low-quality core should not have broken like that. Jotang comes by to congratulate them for reaching the final test, which will be a real fight against demons. He hopes they will all make it through safely. Then, they are told to head to the next test site. Hung, feeling sick, walks off with a bad feeling, talking about the possibility of dying. As he leaves, the commander still hasn't gotten over the fact that A's Crimson Core got shattered, which makes him intrigued about his potential. He is eager to see how this mysterious newbie will handle the next challenge in the hunt beyond the wall in the thick fog. At the third assessment area, the cadets gather in front of the gate, which is about to open. Aang thinks about how it is his first time stepping outside, and also about how people have lived in separate communities for years. Beyond the wall, thick Thick fog always covers the area, so they are told not to waste time, move quietly, and double-check their gear before talking, or they might get killed. This begs the question if the new core he received is good enough. Though he does not think the core is the problem, his strength suddenly disappears, as if something inside him rejected it. He wonders if this is a side effect of time travel. As he moves forward, he senses some demons nearby. Shockwaves come from him and reach a nearby cave, where a demon is sitting. The demon, sensing a stronger presence, is startled, but thinks these might be the demons he felt, as something inside him starts to resonate for no clear reason. Just as he is thinking about this, Loa pushes him to move forward. He apologizes for the delay, and Lan comes over to ask if there is an issue. Ung starts to respond, but before he can finish, the three of them are commanded to form a team. Since everyone else is ready, there is no need to wait, and they should catch up with the group ahead. Suju wonders if teaming up with them was part of our boy's plan, but we all know that Ong never thought about it. Meanwhile, Liu was intentionally worried earlier that no one would team up with her. Looks like even she knows how arrogant she can be. Before heading further, Suju takes a photo of the group, a proof that solidifies their team. The dispelling stele is a black structure made from tough minerals. One of its minerals can clear the fog within a certain range. The examiner explains they will take the test as a team of 4. He assumes they all know the test as a fog hunt. Each team member gets a combat knife and a small fog-clearing device made from the same material as the stele. Their mission is simple. The fog hunt is the last challenge every new recruit faces in the fog-covered world. A warrior must watch out for dangers hidden in the fog. Being a warrior is more than just being strong. It means facing fears and the unknown together as a team. They have to awaken their inner hunter, defeat the appearing demons, and only then earn the title of warrior. The first team's test ends, and the second team gets ready. Tata Yoshio, the leader of the 3rd Squadron, watches the contestant from the gate. She is accompanied by her fellow Joel, and Commander Ji Yawang is there too. The woman notices several promising new talents, but is especially focused on Lu. She wants to know what her fellow seniors think about these newcomers. Joel is interested in Lu too. Coming from a martial family with good training, she could become a great warrior. On the other hand, Gyutang seems to be fixated on A. He knows by fact that there was nothing wrong with A's core, so he is still curious about what really happened during the earlier event. The woman then snaps him out of his thoughts, calls him Tang Tang, and asks what he is thinking. Of course, our brute commander wants her not to use such an embarrassing nickname. Joel meanwhile notices that only this woman can make our hardcore commander with that embarrassing nickname. She then asks if they have checked the demon levels, stressing that only non-finned demons should be in the exam area. Gyotong reassures her not to worry. They have been monitoring the area for days to make sure the exam is safe, confirming no finned demons are near Hylo's town. Joel also adds that even if a finned demon shows up, they will step in to protect the future warriors. The next group's test finishes, and it is time for the 10th group. Liu, who is in this group with Ong, gets ready to start. As our boy picks up the small container, Liu grabs it from him and makes a run for it, excited to show off her skills. Ung wonders why someone would be so eager to impress, and everyone quickly follows Liu, jumping to put the container in its spot. Tata Yoshio can tell that Liu's recovery core is impressive, pointing out that her dexterity matches the blue agility cores, which shows her martial family background. Soon, demons start attacking. Ung suggests his group to fight the demons, and Lan jumps into action, throwing a powerful punch. Jiang is impressed by Lan's prowess, who is doing a great job and has already mastered his core strength. Well, Aang draws his knife and tells everyone to focus on one demon each. They all agree and jump into battle. Suju slashes at one demon several times, finally killing it. Lan also takes down a demon with a single punch, and Commander Joel points out that Suju and that brute guy are working perfectly together, with Suju showing impressive moves and making the most of the agility cores. Jiang reminds them not to rely too much on anybody. Liu stabs a demon, making it explode. Now it is Aang's turn to show his skills. He focuses on 3 key spots: the throat, chest, and abdomen. He targets these areas while thinking about his current body's limits and how much damage he can do quickly. He gets ready to test his abilities under the exam conditions and rushes forward to keep attacking the demon. He sees the demon throw a punch and quickly dodges to the side, then stabs his knife under its shoulder. He is annoyed at how slow his reactions feel. When the demon tries to kick him, he dodges again and stabs it once more. Still feeling that his movements are not smooth. He gets in a few hits, but they are weak. Seeing this, his teammates begin suspecting that he is just messing around with his targets. Meanwhile, Suju takes some pictures, hoping to catch everything on camera. Liu stays silent, but thinks Aang is purposely showing off. Tata Yoshio takes note of our boy's fighting style and asks who he is. Impressed by how well he keeps up the pressure, Joel also commends our boy, saying that he moves like someone with a lot of experience. After fighting for a while, A realizes he cannot use his old abilities and is already feeling worn out. It is a bad situation, so he decides to finish the demon right away. Just as he rushes in, something else suddenly appears and takes out the demon first. Suju wonders about the strange roots that show up during the fight. Then out of nowhere, a one-finned demon appears. Sensing real danger, Gyatang tells everyone to fall back, and they do so quickly. The other two seniors also step up to fight the one-finned demon. Tatayoshi tells the hunters not to panic and to stay with our commander, who promises to protect them until they reach the town. The one-finned demon can sense that one of the humans feels like a demon. Ung and his three friends are stuck. Confused by what it means, Liu worries that the earlier demons are nothing compared to the one-finned demon, who imposes such a damning threat that they'll be killed for even a single mistake. Aang realizes that in his current body, he cannot handle a one-finned demon. Terror sets in when he thinks about fighting such a powerful enemy as a normal warrior. The demon easily disables all four of them and starts hauling them away. Tata Yoshio and her fellow chase after it, but the demon dives underground with the four, and Joel yells for everyone to follow. After a while, the trail ends suddenly. Tata Yoshio wonders how a one-finned demon could show up so unexpectedly, especially since Gitong had checked this area for days and never missed anything before. This has never happened until now. Jiang arrives demanding to know where the four warriors went and why everyone stopped tracking the demon. Joel suggests he relaxes because the enemy vanished. The lady points out that the one-finned demon likely went deeper underground and they should not rush in since nobody has explored that area yet. Remembering how he lost his brother, Gitang slams his fist into the ground, blaming himself for putting the four in danger. Joel, meanwhile, suggests going back to town, guessing it is probably in chaos by now. He wants to send out search teams to make sure there are no more one-finned demons roaming around. The lady also agrees to not stress this unprecedented situation, especially since no one saw this coming. She wants Jiang to stay calm, even though she knows it is difficult for him. Gyotang stands up and says he will keep looking for the four warriors alone, telling them not to worry. Joel starts to object, but the lady cuts in, telling the commander to return before sunset. The commander agrees, then heads off into the fog. She is sure as hell that there is no changing his mind. Joel recalls how once demons took the commander's younger brother years ago, and he still blames himself. Tata Yoshio notes that if Gyotang's brother were alive now, he would be about the same age as the four captured kids. Meanwhile, inside a cave, A and the others are tied up. Our boy wakes up confused about where they are, but relieved everyone is still breathing. The demon appears from behind and notices that A is the first to wake. He can tell that this boy seems different from the others. It is curious why A has a demon-like aura, possibly even stronger than the one-finned demon.